Good evening, hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, depending on your time zone, wherever you are. In Harviala, Finland, it is 9 p.m. on February 5th, 2025. Hello, it's been too long. Nice to see you. Well, I don't see you, you see me. Keep those comments coming so I know who's there. The chat runs a bit late for me, so but they start coming now. Good, great. Everything seems to be working. I hope you hear me. At least here everything looks, all the tabs and things look green and all looks fine. Hello, my name is Juha Ruokangas, your humble servant on a mission from the gods, from the goddesses of fretted instruments. Welcome to another episode of my quote-unquote weekly Wednesday live podcast. It is time to reveal the big secret. That exciting something that I mentioned already months and months ago. And in addition to that something, I have another great piece of news to share with you, and to top it off, even more good news towards the end of the cast. Even though there are a few who felt a bit uneasy after my previous podcast, the 2024 wrap-up. There were a few people who felt uneasy of the way I phrased the already then delayed news. I talked about a new chapter for us. And I continued, I assured it's nothing negative, which made some of you rightfully so assume that maybe it's something negative. I got a couple of letters, some comments. Maybe we're cooking up something unpleasant, such as selling the company to a larger corporation or expanding to imported cheap guitars or something like a nightmare. Yeah, I received a few comments, letters from friends expressing their worry. Well, first of all, I deeply apologize for causing such unease with my slightly mysterious and careless phrasing of things. And secondly, no, we're not selling out. You can take a deep breath, breathe in, breathe out, and relax. It's all good. All is good. You know, when we watch the news, we read the news these days, it feels like it's only depressing and bad news. Even if it sounds good, there's that suspicion something's not right. But on this channel tonight, no, I have only genuinely good news for you today, I promise. Let me see the comments that are pouring in. Damien, hello. Mibu, Greg, Lucky Licks, Junnu, Kingsley, hello Kingsley, Massachusetts, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, 2 p.m. Molekyyli Ikallisista, hello. Tuomas, nice to see you here. Mega Kolak. Alexi, hello Emma. I saw you 3 minutes ago. Nice to see you here. Nice to see that you're here with us. Pauli, did I already say Pauli? I don't know. TJ, great, keep them coming. 2025. It is indeed the 30th anniversary for me, for my career as a guitar maker, and for my company that I founded in 1995. A sip of coffee. I'm a little bit nervous because of all the good news that is pouring out soon. It is also the 30th anniversary celebration to all of you who have made it possible for me and my team to exist in this peculiar business. So I want to congratulate you and I want to thank you for the continuous support. Through these years, I have also followed the careers of many professional guitarists, of you guys, passionate guitar players. Not necessarily professional, amateurs, working maybe in a different field, colleagues, guitar makers, earning their living in a similar way we do. And through all these connections, there are certain common threads that connect us, that give us, a sense of belonging. Passion for music and for guitars is one such common thread for sure. But there's another one. Something I've started to see around me more and more over the decades, over the years, in people I work with, customers, colleagues, friends, regardless from which corner of the planet they're from. This quiet strength, this endurance, integrity. In Finland, we have a word for that. And I think some of you might have heard that word. It's called Sisu. Sisu. Now, I'm aware that outside Finland, Sisu has gained somewhat of a recognition as a uniquely Finnish concept that is often linked to, mental toughness, resilience, endurance, grit, perseverance, pushing beyond limits. And for us Finns, Sisu is so deeply embedded in our culture and personal experience. It's almost like trying to explain the air you breathe. It just is. It's like sauna for Finnish people. For someone else, sauna could mean a hot room at the gym or something. But for a Finn, sauna is its tradition, its community, its solitude, its cleansing, its spirituality. But regardless of how I try to describe sauna for a person from another culture, I find it extremely challenging to communicate the essence of what sauna means to me because I've talked about dedicating an episode of this podcast to sauna one day. Maybe, we'll see. Now back to Sisu anyways. A little story. There is a trilogy of novels by the Finnish author Väinö Linna. It's called Täällä Pohjantähden alla. These novels are translated in English and the title is Under the North Star. Or well, the first part of the English translated trilogy is called that. The second one is The Uprising and the third one Reconciliation by Väinö Linna. The trilogy follows Finnish history from the late 19th century through Finland declaring independence from the Russian Empire in 1917, followed by the Finnish Civil War 1918, covering eventually the era all the way through World War II, the Winter War of Finland, and so on, all along centering on the life of a particular family, the Koskela family. And this book, Under the North Star, Täällä Pohjantähden alla, it begins with this sentence. First in Finnish. Alussa olivat Suo, Kuokka ja Jussi. And translated, in the beginning, there was the swamp, the mattock, and Jussi. Some of you know what mattock is. Mattock is a hand tool, a long handle and a heavy metal head used for digging, for chopping and breaking up soil, or in this case, working the swamp into farmland. First there was the swamp, the mattock, and Jussi. In other words, the novel begins by introducing Jussi, a farmhand from Finland, from Häme, from the region where we are at, who is this guy Jussi. He's diligently working to clear a swamp to establish a croft. which will later be known in the book as the Koskela Farm. I thought the English translation would be easy to find as an ebook for those of you who might want to dig in. But apparently it's not that easy to find. It's not maybe in English as an ebook, and the real books, they're quite sought after, so they're not exactly cheap, but you can find them from Amazon or somewhere. If you have enough Sisu and you want to read the books, you will find a way. You'll find a way. And those books, the story spans through 3 generations of the Koskela family navigating through time. It's such a story that will shed light to what Sisu can be. Well, my 30 years as a guitar maker aren't anywhere as dramatically charged as Jussi Koskela and his family in those books. But I can spiritually, I can relate to the mindset. And in our case, with the crystal clear purpose of serving the community of passionate guitar players to my best ability, throughout the years, refusing to compromise in the quality, doing my very best in understanding better in order to be able to serve better, to be able to solve your guitar-related problems better. Well, there are of course my problems too. They're our problems. And oftentimes it works the other way too. You have also more times than once offered solutions to my problems. Many of you. Those of you who know it, you know who you are. It's a support system. It's a family. And that is a certain perspective to look at Sisu as well. It's not only resilience. It's about dignity. It's about doing the right thing even if nobody's looking. You know. Okay, that's enough to set the stage for what's to come. Let's cut to the chase, shall we? The first reveal for today. Let me see first. More people. Hello. Great. Kingsley. Back in the late 1960s, a guy who sailed against my dad had a boat named Sisu. Yeah. Big Boki says, there was a movie Sisu that really explains the term. Yes, watch the movie Sisu. That's a great one. Another one, Mibu says, really appreciate your shirt. Juha watched the sale of Jeff's guitars and could not stop crying. Well, you got me there. Yeah, that's right. I wanted to do an podcast episode about my love for Jeff Beck as well, but I haven't gotten around to do that yet. Too painful in a way, but I will maybe one day I will get to that too. Okay, did I already say drum roll please? Yes, I did. For more than 12 months, my team that is, we have educated ourselves, we have trained, we have practiced to learn a new skill. We have dived into the world of making pickups. A bit of big background to this. We built guitars for 30 years. I've had the privilege to work with many of the top pickup makers in the world. Harry Heusel has made most of the pickups installed into our guitars and basses for all these years. But there's been others too. Jason Lawler, Lindy Frail, and others. One of the more recent ones, Stuart Robson from Sunbear Pickups. And more. So, and we're not unhappy with their pickups. It's like there's different tastes, different people like different pickups. So yeah, so why would we want to make our pickups now? Or better yet, why haven't we done it a long time ago already? Why now? Well, let's make one thing clear. I actually kind of said it already. It's not because we're not happy. with what Harry or others have made for us. No, that would be not only a foolish claim, but also naive of us, of me, to think that way. Making pickups is something that every one of us in my team, we have done a little bit. As far as I know, the last time any one of us did it was when we were studying to be guitar makers. And this is decades ago. So for me personally, making pickups, it is a field that I've been very interested in, but all these years I've decided not to go there. In the early days, it was a choice or a realization, like, I can do anything I want, but I can't do everything I want because of the limited time each one of us have. And at the time, it was the right thing to do. I couldn't have had more on my plate, so it was the right thing to do. And I got great people to work with me. TJ says, it's great to pick up new skills. That's right. We've picked up new skill, or we're on our way there. Let's see how this pans out. Yeah, that way, not going there as a young man, as an aspiring luthier, starting up my career, I could focus to learn the skill of making the guitar better and leave the pickup wizardry at that point for others. Later down the road, I flirted with the idea of learning to make pickups from time to time, but every time I or my team, in consensus, we have turned the idea down. So why, after almost 30 years, we've been now doing it for over a year, learning? Well, the answer is kind of a twofold. First and foremost, we wanted to understand better. There's nothing new there. We wanted to understand better in order to become better at what we do, in order to inspire you better and to help you with your guitar related, whatever it is. So it's kind of your fault. It's your fault. Let me try to explain a bit what I mean. When pickups are when I say we wanted to understand better in order to become even better at what we do. I'll explain a little. When pickups are made by other makers, we must rely on their expertise, and no matter how great the outcome, meaning the sound and the feel of the instrument, some of it remains a gray area for me. There in the let's say in the connection point of the electronics of the unplugged and the plugged. Fine-tuning and testing new possibilities in the marriage of the instrument and its pickups is cumbersome to some extent when you're working with somebody who is not here. Just the sheer practicality of it. So the train of thought is like, for example, in this guitar made of Spanish cedar, how could I amplify or bring forth this characteristic of the instrument even better, or that, or if I have this hunch or intuition or something. When this happens to me as a luthier, as a guitar designer, it's not easy to put it to words what I'm looking for, because it's a feeling, it's a hunch. It's not easy to put it to words, and it's even more difficult to communicate it to someone who hasn't even played the guitar I'm working on, and where when I'm getting this idea, it's kind of it's a catch-22. It doesn't happen. So there's workarounds. I could tell Harry that, yeah, I want to try something that I'll try to explain to him what I want, and he's like, we could try this, and he does it for us, and we try, and we've found solutions this way. But it's cumbersome, and still, in certain way, I and my team were on that gray area, not exactly understanding what's going on inside that pickup that was shipped to us. So that's the kind of thing. That's where we are, and that's why we have started doing this. Do you understand what I mean? I think you do. And so all that said, we're continuing to work with Harry and others. I mean, after more than 12 months of research and development, we have 2 pickups to share with you today. A bridge humbucker, a neck humbucker, a set of humbuckers, in other words, for a 6-string guitar. So considering how many different types of tastes there are and different styles of guitars and basses, we don't expect to become independent regarding pickups anytime soon. So, but we've started on a new path, and it's very exciting. The second reason why we went for it is that the time was right in more ways than one. My whole team, we started talking about this seriously about maybe 2 years ago. We all were curious to learn this skill together. And so eventually the decision was not mine, but ours in consensus together. We were first thinking of it as a shared hobby project more than anything else. But well, we got more ambitious the more we talked about the possibilities. This new chapter. Yes, this is the new chapter. Nothing scary. Nick, I know you were you were one. I don't know if Nick is here today. If Nick is here today, I didn't see Nick here. Anyways, maybe Nick is here. If he isn't, he will watch this later. You were one of my dear friends who was worried, and this is the new chapter. This is a new chapter. Nothing to worry about. Yeah, the more we talked about the possibilities this new chapter would open to us, educating ourselves through learning this new skill, and maybe in the long run we could offer something relevant, maybe something meaningful. Okay, pickup names. We'll get there. We'll get there. Regarding how we make the pickups, what's the design philosophy and all that. Let's talk about that another time. There is a lot to talk about. I know that, and you might have a million questions. Some of you may have a million questions. For now, I'll just kind of wrap it up super quick and say that I'll just thank Veijo Rautia first, an experienced retired guitar maker and pickup maker, a dear friend. Veijo Rautia for teaching us the basics of pickup making to get us started and encouraging us on this path. And thank you, Lassi Ukkonen, our Valbucker circuit wizard, for doing your best. I know we were hopeless at times, for doing your best in helping us to understand the deep science of electricity, the magnetism, inductance, capacitance, DC resistance, Q factor, and all the rest of it. And Lassi, thank you for your ingenious and novel idea for stabilizing the coils with no wax dipping. I'll leave that to that. More about the technical side later. So now, let me show you the pickups. I was supposed to take them here. Just a second. Thank you for your patience. I'll show you the pickups, then we'll listen to how they sound. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Väinö and Aino, our firstborn set of humbuckers. Väinö, Aino. Designed for bridge position Väinö, which is quite a common Finnish name, and yes, it happens to be Väinö Linna's first name. Remember the books I mentioned? Under the North Star. Täällä Pohjantähden alla. Väinö. And the name Väinö is also rooted to Väinämöinen from the Kalevala stories, of course. And Aino, another common Finnish name. Beautiful woman's name. Featured in Kalevala stories as well. Well, this set here has pretty standard looks, as you can see. And this one that I have here doesn't look so unusual either, does it? Pretty standard looks, as you can see. But we can dress up the pickups in many ways. I will show you a few possibilities. Where do I have them? Just a second. Where have they disappeared? Here. Okay. It's almost like the one I showed you, but this one has an R logo engraved to it. It can look like that, or it can look like that. With Arctic birch, or it can look like that with ebony faceplate. It can look like that. It can look like that. In other words, it can look almost anything like anything you can imagine. We can customize it in many ways. And all right, so we'll listen to how our new pickups sound. We'll listen to you know the guitar, my trusted unicorn guitar, carrying the serial number 1. The first unicorn, also famous, not I don't know famous, familiar from the Unicorn video diary from long ago. And we swapped the pickups into my guitar, Väinö and Aino pickup. And we'll hear how it sounds in Antti Paranko's hands. A bit of noodlings. there we go. One type of setup. I'm just checking from Antti. I asked him about the signal chain a little bit, how this was recorded, and so this was done with 2 amplifiers, 2 Rock EXO and Mesa Boogie Studio 22, and both mic'd with SM57, Shure SM57. And what else? He had Matt Professor Ruby Red Booster on, and Royal Blue, also from Matt Professor. And also Source Audio Atlas compressor. That's about that. For those who would have asked it. Stefan asks, is the resonant frequency higher as with Duke Buckers? Slightly yes, because we have less coil in these. A little bit different way of making them, and there's a lot more kind of air in the sound. That has something to do with the way we stabilize the coils. Instead of waxing, we don't use wax there. We do stabilize them. They don't squeal, but it's something different. I can't talk about it much, but it's different. And I don't know if anybody else does it that way. But we're quite excited about it, that we found in this time, this era, with all the hundreds of pickup makers, that maybe we found something that maybe nobody's doing. Because it's like, oftentimes, a lot of pickup makers that are kind of leaning towards the tradition, the vintage, it ties your hands because you want to replicate the past. You want to reverse engineer, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, because we all love that old sound. But those of you who know me, it's not a surprise for you to hear that I'm not so keen. I'm not so interested in reverse engineering. I'm not so keen into reproducing something, mechanically copying something to the finest detail. I'm interested in the sound. I'm interested in the feel, and I don't really, frankly, care if it was done like that in the 50s or whatever. If I could just get what I want with the sound, with whatever magnets, with whatever coil, whatever way I wind them, I'm just interested in that. Otherwise, if I would be the guy replicating, the guy reverse engineering, I would never have even tried Spanish cedar in my guitars. I would have never even tried Arctic birch in my guitars. I would have never started experimenting with thermally aged tonewood when nobody in the world knew what it is. So, it's that kind of things. But that's not all. That was the first sneak peek to how the firstborn pickups in Harvila, Finland sound, and more to follow. That was the good news, and now we're moving on to some more good news, as promised. A question to you who follow the live stream. It's a bit kind of bummer because I can't. There's such a long delay with the chat. So now I ask you a question, and then I'm going to see your answers in a couple of minutes when I've already moved on. But anyways, I'm going to ask you a question anyways. Did anybody notice the shadow on the wall? Anybody? Did anybody notice the shadow on the wall? On what wall? Well, the wall next to me in that YouTube placeholder image. Behind the texts that said something about 30th anniversary and new chapter and something, and then there was a shadow on the wall. Yeah, well, on that wall, there was indeed a shadow of a guitar. a brand new Ruokangas guitar model that you'll see and hear in just a moment. So over the past years, this has been hands down the most requested style of a guitar we've been asked to offer. And I've had this project on my drawing board repeatedly with no notable progress until a few months ago. I, however, had a sort of a premonition about about a particular part of the body shape. The lower, the lower, how do you say it? The lower bout, or yeah, maybe it's that. The lower cutaway, yeah, the cutaway. A premonition about the particular part of the body that I had found had stopped my flow of creativity, and it had in the process it had also stopped the flow of the body shape itself. It was like a me and the guitar, my unborn guitar model, we both kind of hit a wall, and I couldn't get forward. But the premonition, I realized that if I don't do what everybody else is doing with that style of guitar, but if I flip things around, unlike I've seen others do, I will be freed from my block of creativity. And I will, as a result, I will revive my creative juices flowing. B, I will revive the flow of the guitar body shape, and C, I will improve the balance of this style guitar when playing sitting down. And as a bonus, I think the guitar rocks. It rocks. Without further ado, here we go. Let's listen to the new guitar that we have decided to baptize Sisu. Ladies and gentlemen, Antti Paranko again, and a custom-made little tune for Sisu guitar with Väinö and Aino pickups installed into it. Antti's tune is called Firefly. There you go. Greg says, did I say before it all makes sense now? Yeah. My stories about Väinö and the book and Sisu and everything. Yeah, there it comes. A little disclaimer about the name Sisu. When I was doing a bit of research, if, you know, in a case a colleague of mine, a guitar maker, somebody in Finland might already use the name in a guitar-related product, the name Sisu, because it's a common word in our country, I found to my amazement that of all places, there is a guitar brand, an aspiring guitar brand in New Orleans, named Sisu Guitars. What? And I became so curious, and I sent out an email and got to know this guy, Christopher Lavoie, who is an emergency room nurse by trade, and he's an aspiring full-time, like he says, who's an emergency room nurse by trade and aspiring full-time guitar builder eventually, as he phrased it. Specializing in left-handed guitars. Wow, there's a way to differentiate, sure. And the name is fitting for his Sisu guitars because it requires a bit of extra finish Sisu to marginalize your clientele like that. But it's a way to differentiate, and it's a big world, and there are a lot of left-handed players. I have many left-handed customers. So now you have a new brand you know about. All my left-handed customers, you know who you are. Go check Christopher Sisu Guitars on Instagram and Facebook. Yeah, I wanted to make sure he's cool, which he did, about me naming our 30th anniversary guitar model with the name Sisu. Just wanted to ask, out of dignity, you know. And I wanted to mention this to you guys because transparency is good. Now I know that you know that I know, and we all know that all is cool, right? TJ says, so many switches. Yes, so many switches. I'll talk about it in a minute. So Sisu it is, my interpretation of the very popular offset style guitar. My interpretation of how I feel, how I imagine this guitar can be made. Familiar, but still different and unique enough to stand out. And I think I found a way, because as much as cool guitars Jazzmaster, Fender Jazzmaster is, and all the interpretations of it that are, many of them are very close to the original, to the Jazzmaster style, the offset guitar, the original offset guitar. I didn't want to go there. I wanted to find a new way of something. And when you start looking at that guitar in more detail, you'll realize that it has actually design elements from my previous guitars, like all over the place. But yeah, so let me show you one picture first. Where's that one? There. This was when the guitar was still on the assembly table. It doesn't have strings on yet, but there you can see the color. The body is made of thermally aged alder. It has our bare bone treatment, and then this is the new way of coloring it that we haven't done before. It's pretty cool. Instead of red, you can imagine it could be orange, blue, green, whatever you think of. The black on the kind of like at the bottom, and then the highlights with the other color. We're experimenting with other ways of doing it too. Let's see how they turn out, but this is something that we found really something different, because it has, again, when thinking of, you know, the very popular way of doing things, like with the vintage, with the old guitars, and with the relic stuff and all that, they can be cool things, but everybody's doing it, and there's certain element of it in it that I've talked about it before in my videos, that I'm not the biggest fan of the relic thing, because to me it feels a bit fake. It feels like, yeah, we're like wearing it down, but shouldn't it be worn down by playing, and then it's like authentic and it's your guitar and it's gonna wear down. So that's why we many years ago came up with a bare bone type of finish in the first place, because it's a finish that kind of wears down relatively fast in a cool way. But with the Sisu guitar, we came up with a kind of like a new twist to it with these two colors. So it's kind of dig it. Thank you for the congratulations. Thank you very much. Stefan says, "Isn't it a classic Mustang Jazzmaster vibrator system?" Let me show you. Let me show you another picture. Now you're gonna see the guitar really well. Where is that one? Don't I have it here? Is this one? Yes, there it is. I'm here. There's the guitar. Feels like almost I could touch it. Yeah. So there's the body. The bridge and the vibrato. Yes, they are the Jazzmaster style, the offset style vibrato system by Mastery. This is the, you could say it's the high end of what Jazzmaster bridges can be, or the vibrators can be. Typically with the traditional, it's weird to be behind the guitar, guys. I'm here. Let's put it that way there for a while. Yeah. Typically with a vintage Jazzmaster, the original Jazzmaster bridges and vibrators, tends to be issues with tuning stability, but with the Mastery, it's quite amazing. It keeps the tuning and without losing that special character of this style guitar, and which is partly to do with the fact that the strings travel so very long distance from the vibrato to the bridge. So it is creating this kind of like a noisy kind of a dissonance sound there that is kind of part of the game. And there are some makers like Frank Daimel, my dear friend. Frank Daimel has kind of like went all in with this and installed even a pickup behind the bridge, which is something very cool and very Frank Daimel. So if you dig the idea, go find Daimel Guitars and you'll see what I mean. And if my guitar, if you feel this guitar has a lot of switches, come on, look at Frank's guitars. Those guitars have a lot of switches. Even though this version that we have here with the line of 4 toggles down there, it's what we kind of have called here the Spartan version, the stripped down version. Seriously, you will see the all-in version also brainstormed and conjured up together with Lassi Ukkonen. Who else? Anyways, this one, somebody asked about the switches, I think. This one, well, 3-way toggle up there, the pickup selector, master, volume, master, tone, nothing special there. But then there's that row of toggles. The first one, the furthest, is it? Yeah, it is the same way for you as it is for me here, looking at it. The first one on the left, or the toggles, that's, it's the bridge pickup series parallel switching. The furthest on the right, the same thing for the neck pickup. And the second from right, it is an out of phase switch when both pickups are on. And the second from left, well, this one doesn't have a name yet. It's something that Lassi has come up with. And I've thought of calling it maybe a nasty mode, or another suggestion was salty mode. In Finland, it could be also called gifu mode. Finnish people know it's related to sisu, and it kind of relates to salty mode as well. Maybe somebody from Finland can explain it in the comments what I'm talking about, what the hell I'm talking about. But anyways, the third, or the second switch from the left doesn't have a name yet, but yeah, it's kind of this nasty tone. We can listen to it. And if you can think of something fun, a great name for it, we're all ears. Let's listen to one more clip by Antti noodling with the guitar, and you will hear what it does. And yeah, I was supposed to show you also before I put it away. There you see the other end of the guitar. There you see the name Sisu as well. Whoop, now it disappeared. Okay. I will show you the guitar from the back if I have the back photo. I thought I had it, but no. Why don't I have it? I'll find it. Just a second. Somewhere here. Oh, here. There you go. There's the guitar from the back. Like so. All right. And then we'll listen to it. Those of you listening to the audio podcast, well, you're missing the aesthetics here, but maybe you can feel the excitement in the air. And go to YouTube to check out this video. And we will have, of course, more. We're building a model page of Sisu on our website, and so on. So it's all happening step by step. You're the first people to know about this. Remember to spread the word. Okay. Let's listen to Antti noodle with Sisu guitar. Zesty mode. That's the first suggestion, I think. All right, swamp mode. TJ, yeah, keep them coming. Keep them coming. Goes without saying that that sort of a platform, the reason for those, or where the idea for having a row of toggles like that came from, Well, if you think of the essence of what the jazz master guitar is about, um, to me it's always like when I'm looking at the old ones and I'm seeing the slider switches and the sideways pots there and things. It's to me it's just it's a guitar that, wow, there's a lot of switches and I have no idea what they are doing. As a guitar maker, I've kind of learned, yeah, through the years repairing those guitars, I know what they're supposed to be doing and all that. But still, that feeling of that guitar has stuck. It's kind of like like an airplane cockpit, you know, with a lot of switches. A guitar with a lot of switches. So I thought that when we make the Sisu guitar, the offset guitar, it's kind of a hats off to the original jazz master. Some builders, with their interpretations, they maybe leave off the kind of special switches and things. But I was thinking that, well, why not make it a sort of like a platform? You can do what you want there. It's a very, actually, now that it is there, it's very cool user interface, because you can see them there in a neat line. Two-way toggle switches. You can see what is up, what is down. When everything is down, it's all normal. And bringing them up can do special things. So you can do any special wirings with the two-way toggles you want to do. It doesn't need to be exactly the ones that we have thought about. We've kind of experimented with a few things, and we thought that these are pretty useful ones. Some sounds sound kind of like when played alone, noodling, sound kind of weird. But with a band, as you know, the guitar is in the middle. Yeah, we'll see how it turns out in a band setup. I'm very curious to see how these things pans out. Yeah, my dear friends, I would have so much to share about the new pickups and the new guitar, but for now I'm afraid we'll have to move on. All your questions will be recorded and addressed. But first, let me think. We had good news. We had more good news. Oh, I still have some good news for you. Good news for you. Okay, pay attention, everybody. Ruokangas Guitars 30th anniversary. Open doors, garden party, coffee and cake, peace, love, and live music. Place here at our guitar workshop and in the surroundings, our neighbor cafeteria. Time, August 23rd, Saturday. You are invited. Mark your calendars for that. There's some good news. You want some more good news? Well, here comes. And I can see here, wait a minute. Stefan Schmidt says, are the new pickups available from now on? That is a question that came spot on. The Väinö and Aino pickups. They're not only available from now on for guitars you order from us. The pickups will be available to purchase to any guitars in all the multitude of looks it can be. Without covers, black, zebra, white, more. With traditional covers and our custom Ruokangas covers. They're custom made to order, but the waiting time for them, we try to, of course it depends on how much you guys are going to buy them from us, but we're trying to keep it really reasonable. So let's say in weeks rather than months. We've prepared to make things easy. We've been really working on this throughout 2024. To make things easy, the pickups will be able, you will be able to order them from our web shop that is currently being rebuilt. We hoped it would be up and running tonight, but no, it's not up. Instead, it's all collapsed. The whole guitar shop is. I mean, our website is fine. The guitar website is fine, but our web shop with the T-shirts and all that's down and broken, and I hope it's not beyond recovery. But anyways, this is aggravating because I would have wanted to tell you that you can go to the web shop and you can buy this pickup now. Yeah, I will show you. There's one pickup. Look. Peace, love, and good music. What is this? Väinö, serial number 6. There's a little card there that says, "Thank you for choosing Ruokangas. May this pickup inspire you to shape your tone to new heights. With love and dedication. Yours truly." Little pouch. Some of you may recognize the pouch. Those of you recognize it who own our guitars. And in this box there was a regular looking pickup like that. Oh yeah, but there's actually, this one is at the bottom of the pickup. Made in Finland, Väinö. Serial number 6, peace, love, and good music. Made in Harviala, Finland. Oh, I'm so excited that I got to tell you this and share this with you, and that it's finally out of the open. You know, a lot of stagnated air came out and fresh air coming in to my thinking, to my mind, that this is now out of the box. It's great. It's great. Stefan says, "Do we have to talk?" Sure, we can talk. Stefan, always. I know what you might refer to, and yes, it is possible. If you're thinking what I'm telepathically thinking what you're thinking, it is possible. What else? Let me check my notes. Yeah, okay. The shop is currently being rebuilt, and I hope within a matter of days it will be up and running, and you can buy those pickups if you want to install them to any of your guitar. Yeah, one thing. Let's put it there. August 23rd. Yes. Anniversary party here in Finland. You're welcome. What was I about to say? Yeah. If you would have a situation where you want to experiment, if you want to try our pickups into one of our guitars, let's say VSOP, anything with humbucker routing, and you have that typical installation that we've done, where on the bass side you have 2 height adjustment screws instead of 1, so you have a kind of like a tripod, so you can not only raise and lower the pickup, but you can also adjust the angle. So with a pickup we can also deliver a little brass nugget that screws onto the leg on the bass side of the pickup, and then it will retrofit to any of our guitars with this tripod height adjustment system in it. It's quite rare in other guitars, so just wanted to mention about this, so you know. Did I hear somebody ask about prices? In European Union, depending on the VAT of your country, because it's like nowadays it's that way, one-stop shop something. I don't know what it's really, but it's something to do with EU directives. Anyways, depending on the VAT of your country, The pickup without the cover, a little bit below 200 euro mark a piece. With nickel cover, a bit over 200 euros, and with the special covers of something more. I don't know exactly, a few euros more. In other words, very reasonable. We'll be also adding soon to our shop, more good news. We'll be adding to our shop one item related to our anniversary. Why didn't it come up? It says that it's here. Why isn't it there? Come on. No, there it is. 30th anniversary t-shirt is also coming to the web shop soon. As you can see, it looks kind of familiar, kind of like a 25th anniversary t-shirt, but not quite, because it has the new guitar, the Sisu guitar there, and 30th anniversary, peace, love and good music, established 1995, and there it is, the Sisu guitar. We were so much hoping that the web shop would be up and running by now this evening, but a bummer, it's not. Instead, the whole thing crashed and burned. Oh man, sometimes the web stuff it's great. Web is great. I mean, we wouldn't be doing this. What would we be doing if we wouldn't have internet and the social media and all this wonderful technology? But it requires sometimes a lot of Sisu to cope with the web shop. Come on. Wait, last but not least, some more good news for those of you who are in Finland this weekend and who will visit the Finland Tone Fest in Järvenpää. We'll be there. The Sisu guitar will be there. More guitars will be there. Emma will be there. I will be there. A few sets of Väinö and Aino pickups will be there, available to purchase. Antti Paranko electric quartet. Antti Paranko electric quartet will play a 45-minute set on Saturday at 12:30. So it'll be loads of fun, and I hope to see as many as possible of you there. Yeah, that's all for now. I will be sending out, if you're not subscribing to this YouTube channel, you should. Where do I have that thing? Subscribe thing, that one. Yeah, subscribe. It's down there somewhere. Down there is subscribe button and the bell icon, whatever, to get notifications. And also from our website, subscribe to my guitar love letter if you already are not subscribing, because I will be sending a newsletter immediately when the pickups are available to purchase, when the t-shirt is available to purchase, and also keep you up to date on when Sisu guitar, the model, will be on the web. Junnu, are you still there? Ooh, Junnu, do you have a deadline for us? When will our Sisu model page be up and running? When will our Väinö and Aino pickup page on the website be available, up and running? When? We are waiting. All of these people are waiting. No, Junnu is doing his best. We're all doing our best with our limited resources, like, I told you in the last one. But we're in good spirits and great things are happening. And right now I'm running over time, 10 minutes over time. It's 10 past 10 p.m. My friends, time to call it a day. And that was my slipper dropping on the floor, in case you heard it. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Thank you for support. It has truly been a joy, a pleasure. People, take care of your loved ones. Be well. Stay safe. Peace, love, and good music. Good night.